Ladies and gentlemen, now I'll call upon Janab Dr. Koya ji, जो आज हमको इस मंच से साधु कुपसामी जी के विषय में कुछ कहेंगे. So I request Dr. Koya to come on. थोड़ा कुछ टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम हो गया है पावर का. मैं आप सभी से क्षमा चाहते हैं. थोड़ा हम इंतजार कर लेंगे. जब तक हम इंतजार करते हैं पावर को आने तक, मैं आप सभी से निवेदन करता हूं कि हमारे समाज में जो आज हमारा जो खास सीनियर्स का जो अप्रिशिएशन हम देने जा रहे हैं, उनका नाम हम बारी बारी से पुकारेंगे और हमारे जो मेंबर्स हैं TISI संगम का, वो आपके पास जाकर आपको इशारा करके यहाँ पर आगे में जो चेयर्स रखा है कि सीनियर्स के लिए हमने रखा है. हेलो जनाब कोया.
President, Mr. Professor Ryan, Reverend Pandit R.S. Founder, members of the TISI SANGAM board, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very great honor for me to have been invited here to speak in reverence of the late Sadhu Kuupusami, both as your first Muslim speaker and a member of the Koya family. At the time when the TISI Sangam was born, was in the progress of being born, contemptuously, there was another organization, the 10 India Ikya Sangam, and then there was in the background 10 India Manatul Islam, led by my grandfather in the same time frame, the late Haji Mohyuddin Koya. And this is a little wonder that both being from the south, with the south background, he was a Malayalam speaking gentleman, father of the late SM Koya. And at the time he was invited to share his thoughts with the TISI Sangam. This is a time of darkness. This is a time when our community, the Indian community, was coming out of an era of darkness, of slavery actually. They were looking for identity, they were looking for stability and an opportunity to progress. It was a time when the time was calling. It was the cry, the time, and the call of time. And only one voice, one person rose to the occasion. They say, time and situation breed leaders. So there was this time, in the time of darkness. And एक बेनूरी का ज़माना था, बेनूरी का ज़माना था. There was no light there, so somebody had to stand up as a light, as a guidance, for not only the Indian community, but for the entire nation, as a matter of fact. कहते हैं कि मुद्दतों के बाद ऐसे लोग आते हैं, ज़माने के बाद आते हैं. In ages, it takes a lot of time for somebody to rise to the occasion. क्या आपको कहा है किसी ने? 1000 साल नरगिस रोती है अपनी बेनूरी पर, 1000 साल नरगिस रोती है अपनी बेनूरी पर, तब जाके होता है एक दीदवर। ऐसे दीदवर रोज नहीं पैदा होते। आखिरकार almost 100 years now, nobody has come close to the Reverend late Sadhu Kuupusami ji in the entire annals of Fiji history. Nobody. When I was looking for evidence, flipping through pages and pages and pages and going through internet in the search to assemble evidence in favor of late Sadhu Kuupusami ji, I did not come across anything that showed that he was a man of glamour and flashy clothes. He did not wear any suits, any ties, any flashy dresses. He didn't wear flashy boots. He had no diamonds on his fingers, nothing in his, in ears and nose. All I came across was a very simple picture, very simple man, clad only in one piece of robe, white robe, that's it. That spoke about the man, his humanity, his origin, and his personality. This simple man, rising to the occasion in response to the cries of our people, he was the one who gave them, equipped them with a mission. We here in America, as I teach management, we talk about what is your MVP? What is your mission, vision, and purpose? And I say to my students, that's not the full equation. I tell them it's MVPV, mission, vision, purpose, and value. It's the value that Sadhu Kuupusami ji that incorporated, not in his writings, not in his broad articulated speeches, but what he left behind and gave in a very simple way. His mission was education, because he knew that education was the need of the time, and if education was the key to all the answers. As the schools were being built in response to his mission, and as people rallied behind him, schools were built one classroom at a time. One classroom at a time. Never a whole set of classrooms were built, and it was one school at a time. And he knew, he must have foreseen, that when a school is built, a community will be built around it, and with that, other needs of the society will grow, will unfold, and all these needs will be met through one institution, that's the school. He did not advocate, let's go and build the temple. That was not the primary thing, because he knew, having come from India, that education was the most important thing. And what a wonderful mission, a noble mission it was. Everybody rallied behind him, and soon the Sangam society, when it was born, it was created, it surpassed all other communities. Not only it surpassed, but actually it set the tone and pathways for every community, not only the Indians. Others followed, replicated his efforts, replicated his mission. Pretty soon we saw Sanatan Dharma, Muslim League, the Catholic Mission, and all other people, including the Fijians, they started building their schools. But who set the tone? The one man that stood out in the whole nation was Sadhu Kuupusami. Stood out totally. So he did that. And by the time I grew up and got into the high school education system, and then thereafter I became the school teacher, I taught at the Sangam school in my village. Sangam was already such a high institution, the reddies, the gowners, the pillars, were all coming out of these schools and making headlines. They were becoming lawyers, doctors, dentists. They set the tone for our community, all because of one man who deserves all our credit, all our praises. He never asked for any praises. There's nothing in writing that I could find that he asked for, praise me or thank me. He was a selfless man. That's the impression that I kept from reading about him. You read the whole article in my newspaper, and there's no such thing about him. He never asked praises. Today we gather here to sing his praises. But I tell you one thing, while he set the tone and made us so successful, and the Sangam became an institution, such a large and powerful, that the late Prime Minister, the very first Prime Minister of Fiji, Ratu Samara, was compelled to admit that Sangam is the second government in Fiji. So powerful, so supreme, so unique. Nobody has come close to Sangam till today. When I was a little kid, about 2 years old, that's when I heard about Sangam, Penang Sangam School. Because my eldest uncle was a head teacher for about 30 years in Penang Sangam School. So we learned about Penang Sangam School from day one. I hadn't been to school yet, but this name resounded in our family. So that is such a wonderful legacy that he left behind. We're gathered here today, not to sing his praises, I tell you. Never mind how much praise you loud on him, makes no difference. He's not here to hear you. But what we need to do is replicate, live his mission, or repeat his mission from now on. The only way we can pay full homage, full tribute to the late Swamiji is by founding a foundation in his name, Sadhu Kuupusami Foundation, so that you pour in money in that foundation, not one day, every month, every year. So that foundation builds up and becomes a source for all your needs here in the United States of America. That's the best tribute you can pay him. You can remember him every day, and your children can benefit from the fund, research on him. Very little is written about him. There's no book to be found, and I hope that somebody from here would be able to stand up and do the research, travel to Fiji, travel to India if you have to get the whole picture of the gentleman. So you pay a tribute, and you build things in his name, and you learn about him every day. In the whole last 100 years, look back, there is not one single South Indian from any sector of Fiji that has risen, who has risen to that level. It's not an ordinary achievement. It is not an ordinary contribution to Fiji, where Indians were slaves. This was one man who set the tone for the entire community. And we are supposed to be continuing this mission, carrying on the torchlight, so that it is remembered and we live to the true spirit of Sadhuji. If we don't do, we will fail miserably. And our children who will come, they will be ignorant. They will have no impetus, no source of inspiration to go forward, make those achievements, set those goals. We have no doctors. We have no PhDs. Very few can count them on your 5 fingers. That's all we have. When are we going to wake up? What a wonderful mission he gave us, and we are not doing a thing about it, but we are prepared every weekend to pour our $1,000 in parties. We are going to go and destroy ourselves, our health. But what about his mission? We're going to pour all our money in this mission so that we truly show our love, our respect, and our honor for the late Sadhu Kuupusami. Thank you for listening. God bless you. God bless America.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जनाब डॉक्टर कोया जी, आपने आपके स्पीच के लिए। Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give him a big hand, please. I'll take a quick review. मैं जितने भी हमारे जो सीनियर लोग बैठे हैं उनको आज हम अप्रिशिएशन शो करने जा रहे हैं। मैं बारी बारी से उनका नाम बुलाऊंगा और यहाँ पर डायरेक्टर्स हमारे डायरेक्टर्स ने उनको गाइड करेंगे, आशा करेंगे इस चेयर पर जो सामने पर चेयर रखा हुआ है बैठने के लिए। सबसे पहले है श्रीमती आदि लक्ष्मी जी, खड़े हो जाए आप खड़े हो जाए। श्रीमान अविनाश नंद नायकर मास्टर जी, just guide them in front please. श्रीमती बीरमती, खड़े हो जाओ, खड़े हो जाओ। श्रीमान हरि राम गांडर, श्रीमती हेमा गांडर, श्रीमती इंदिरा रेड्डी, श्रीमान कृष्णा रेड्डी जी, श्रीमती मनिका नारायण, श्रीमती मनिका नारायण,